Hello everyone. Welcome to Confessions Jury, where people put themselves on the spot, waiting for your judgment. Sit comfortably and listen carefully, as you're about to hear today's cases. You hold the hammer and you apply the law. Let us have your verdict down in the comments section. As always, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. Let's head on to our first case. Case 1. Am I the bad person for questioning my engagement after I found out about my fiancé's past? I, 41M, have been with my fiancé, 33F, for 6 years and we just got engaged this year. The relationship is great in most ways, but the sex could be better. She's a bit prudish. Sex with the lights off, only 1 or 2 positions, and she doesn't like oral, giving, likes receiving, that sort of thing. But I put up with it because she's great and I always felt like I was punching up. She's always been very cagey about her past and doesn't talk much about her family back home. She moved here shortly before I met her. Apparently, there was some sort of disagreement or falling out. But there was a death in the family this year and she went back for the funeral and they reconnected and they invited us to go and stay this Christmas. So we went this past weekend and I met them for the first time and at first, all good. We were at this family party / gathering and an older cousin, 48F, of hers pops over and my fiancé got really awkward. She's mentioned her before that she never got on and tolerated her, but is a bit of a narcissist. My fiancé went away to help her mom with something and the cousin just kept talking to me. I could tell she had a bit to drink and was a bit leery and said something like, how does her idiot cousin get such a great guy like me when she was such a slag in the past? I was a bit dumbfounded by that and was about to say something when fiancé pops back really angry telling her to fuck off, but the cousin wasn't shutting up and started giving it back to her. She started saying how my fiancé was a real slag as a kid and had so many abortions before she was even 16. My fiancé just went in herself and clammed up. I tried to take her away and tell the cousin to fuck off, but she kept following us and then cornered us, saying she then became a prostitute to support herself at uni and even was a porn star. Apparently, someone leaked a porno of her doing a gangbang to the family and so many of them fell out with and disowned her, and that's the reason apparently for the falling out. By this point, her dad could see what was going on and laid into the cousin saying she needs to go, and she did. But my fiancé was in tears at this point and we left and got a hotel. In the morning, we had a conversation about what she said and apparently it's all true. She was sexually assaulted by a boy in her year at school at 14 and it made her really promiscuous. Apparently, she was well known for being easy to have sex with and did all manner of stuff and had 3 abortions by 16, not as much as the cousin made out. She said it was true about the sex work. She became an escort and did porn throughout uni. All sorts of lesbian, gangbangs, hardcore stuff, things I can't even imagine. That's why she's so prudish now. She's so ashamed of her past. She genuinely doesn't know how many people she's been with, but it's easily in the high triple figures. I just couldn't say anything. I was stunned. She said if I knew, I'd probably not get with her, and I didn't really disagree with her. It turned into an argument and some hurtful stuff was said on both sides, and I just walked out. I actually got the train home yesterday and I'm here now. I'm going to spend the day with my parents. Fiancé has been messaging and trying to call me non-stop and I told her I just want time to think. She finally understood and has stopped messaging me now. I'm going to try and think, and we agreed to talk when she gets back after Christmas. I genuinely don't know where to go from here though. On one hand, I have this amazing woman who I wanted to marry and spend my life with. On the other, I can't look at her the same now. Don't get me wrong, I can't blame her for the past, especially the SA. As a previous survivor myself, I can especially relate there. But I can't get over what she said she did, and especially the sort of things she did she doesn't even contemplate now with me. Loads of things are going around in my head. Am I a bad person / overreacting / wrong, etc. if I ask to hold off on the engagement until we've worked on this? What do you guys think? Lay down your ruling in the comments section and let's move on to our next story. Case 2. Am I the bad person for telling my brother-in-law that his girlfriend is no longer welcome in our home? BIL 19M and his GF 20F are treating husband and myself like we are hosting Christmas when he came to us to ask if his GF could come over for Christmas Eve and Christmas. We are not hosting, and now this is an issue. I, 30F, and my husband, 29M, have been together 10 years, married 5 of those. The last 3 years we have been making our own traditions as my in-laws dynamic is incredibly toxic, and this is our first home and we'd like to incorporate a little bit of ourselves into our new traditions. So we now cook for my entire family and ourselves and deliver it throughout the day of the holiday. A couple of weeks ago my BIL 19M graduated trade school and moved back in with us. He asked us if it was okay if his GF 20F came over Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. We said not a problem. Well, last night, it did become a problem. BIL's GF is a vegetarian. I put this in quotations as all I've ever seen her eat is mac and cheese and pizza. We decided we're making loaded mashed, jalapeno poppers, stuffed mushrooms, deviled eggs, sweet potato casserole, candied yams, and ham. We have in the past tried accommodating BIL's GFS diet in the past, and it was a complete waste of time as she refused to eat anything we made, all vegetarian based. So we learned a few months ago we are not catering to her difficult nature. It's not about diet, she's a pain in the ass. Last night it came up that we aren't make mac and cheese. We made the viral teeny mac and cheese for Thanksgiving. We decided to remake the dishes from Thanksgiving that got the most love and compliments, the ones that people most enjoyed. Most of our dishes having lots of cheese in them as well as carbs, we didn't want to add the mac and cheese. This girl lost her SHIT last night. She raised her voice and kept yelling, "What am I supposed to eat? There's no mac and cheese." She was insistent and berating my BIL until my husband stepped in and reminded her they're adults and could go to the store in the morning to make their own. She didn't like this and continued complaining, so I jumped in and said that there is boxed mac and cheese they can make themselves. She then saw my husband was drinking last night and took it upon herself to tell him to go get her the pink stuff my mom always drinks. I informed her that she is 1, underage, and 2, if she's on medication, she shouldn't mix alcohol with them. She rolled her eyes at me as brother-in-law pointed to me like that what she said. She then blew me off and continued to talk to my BIL to figure out the pink stuff her mom's always drinking. I want to add that his GF is high-functioning autistic. I'm not sure if this behavior is partially due to that or if she's just a spoiled rotten brat who's never heard no in her entire life, but I do not want this behavior in my household ever again. How the hell can I better navigate this situation while she's still here for the next 2 days? I'm so close to finding a dog-friendly hotel and just going there with my dog and husband until BIL takes his GF back home. Am I the bad person for telling him when he takes her home that will be the last time she's welcome here? Or do I keep quiet until he asks if she can spend the night here in the future, to which we can kindly decline? What do you guys think of this one? Let us know in the comments section, and let's move on to our next story. Case 3. Am I the bad person for refusing to let my brother-in-law move into our guest house after he screwed us over financially? My husband and I have a small guest house on our property that we rent out for extra income. A couple of years ago, my brother-in-law, his brother, approached us asking to borrow $10,000 to cover some debts. He was desperate, and we wanted to help, so we lent him the money with the agreement he'd pay us back within a year. Fast forward 2 years, and he hasn't paid us a cent. He avoids the topic every time it's brought up and even had the audacity to take a trip to Cancun recently. My husband and I had an argument about this because I'm angry he's not holding his brother accountable. Now, the tenant in the guest house recently moved out, and my brother-in-law suddenly wants to move in. He claims he's struggling financially and needs a place to stay for a few months. I flat out refused. I don't trust him to pay rent, and honestly, I'm still furious about the $10,000 he hasn't repaid. My husband thinks I'm being too harsh, saying it's family, and we should help him out. But I feel like he's taken advantage of us enough already. I told my husband if he wants his brother to move in, he can either pay us back the $10,000 first or sign an agreement with consequences for not paying rent. My husband says I'm being unreasonable and cold-hearted. Am I the bad person for refusing to let him move in without clear terms? You've sat down, you've listened. Now, it's time to state your ruling. What is it gonna be? Let us have it down in the comments section down below. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more cases like these. In life, we may run, but we can never hide from true justice. Stay safe, everyone.